from Fleming's military intel contact number 1 earlier this week. The deep state did what they can't, what they got to do best. You got to love them. Pelosi and her team had nothing better to do. Deep state politicians paid cartel mafia bombing teams that were caught and stopped in the act of trying to blow up the communication grid in the country. Number 2, the key locations were there was switching and routing equipment, satellite cable and transmission tower connections of communication grid located in major cities of New York, Seattle, San Francisco, LA, Miami, etc. These deep state mercenaries tried to pull off a mini 9/11 and blow up the communication grid that would prevent us in Tier 4B from being able to receive notification emails, to call the 800 numbers, speak with the call centers, set our appointments. On Wednesday, October 7th, the National Security Administration, NSA, and military intel picked up the chatter of these deep state bombing teams, and then Department of Defense security teams, along with FBI, ATF, and Homeland Security task forces, apprehended them in target urban areas. Number 5, the all clear to start shotgun release was given at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday night, October 7th. Number 6, 7 hours later, about 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Friday, October 9th, everything was opened up for shotgun release payouts and access to portions of account funds. Number 7, this process was slowed way down because the deep state threats, those started with Tier 2 humanitarian organization representatives being notified to come in and access account funds Thursday and Friday, 8th through 9th of October. Number 8, we're still waiting for the start of Tier 3 to 4A groups, the Corps, and the 27 other Admiral groups, and start for us in Tier 4B. Number 9, they don't want us, the deep state, to know when we in Tier 4B would start for obvious reasons, like this deep state attempt to blow up the communications grid. Number 10, right now, DoD security teams are working on making sure the communications grid in this country is secure from any more cabal attempts to blow it up, compromise it in order to keep the exchanges from starting, or to keep Trump and the White Hats from being able to communicate with the people. Number 11, the military intel contact said that he marveled when the currency holders said things like they cannot figure out why this has not gone yet. Quote, we thought this was supposed to have gone already to help the people, unquote. He said it's because there's a war still going on with the deep state who dearly do not want you to be able to exchange, redeem safely. He said, don't you see the war going on, riots in our cities, and C-19 shutdown, mask, science madness? The war is all around us. Number 12, he said to remember that deep state criminals hate Trump and the White Hats because their decades-long power and control are being removed right now by Jacera and the RV. Number 13, he said people need to stop forgetting the war going on before our eyes daily. Number 14, he said that we needed to exercise patience and endure until we cross the finish line. Number 15, the shotgun release started Thursday, October 8th, with the Tier 2 humanitarian organizations being paid out with access to account funds. Number 16, our Tier 4B was imminent over the next few days after security teams make sure the communications grid was safe from schemes to take it out and make sure the mini 9/11 schemes the deep state shills had planned were halted before they happened. Number 17, he confirmed again Dr. Charlie Ward's info from his White House sources that Trump, DoD security teams, and White Hats were having to move carefully and patiently to make sure there were not any more mistakes such as led to terror attacks on 9/11 that stopped the RV and Jacera and killed 3,000 innocent Americans. Number 18, they were having to move slowly and carefully to defeat the deep state trying to blow up the RV and Jacera. Number 19, Mandino was one of the most well-known personal development writers and speakers of the 20th century. He was a World War II Army Air Corps bombardier who flew 30 bombing missions over Nazi Germany to defeat the Nazis, which Trump and the White Hats were now having to do 75 years later. Our guy recommended that we listen to O.G. Mandino's words on patience in the face of adversities and adversity as below. Number 20, our military intel contact was sorry to confirm the reports of Mr. Fleming's sources above, but it was what it was. He was not a decision maker, and the decision makers were making tough choices to slow this down right now for your own good. So you could use the SafeLink website to get your unique 800 numbers assigned to you in order to connect to a call center. Make your appointment and safely go to that appointment to redeem exchange.